Good morning. It's David in Henderson. Just got done this morning with my morning exercise. And obviously, I can say exercise because I do what I can and I'm all right as far as, but most of my damage due to my stroke is in my brain, and I have a lot of anxiety, fear, and a lot of anxiety of thinking everybody's out to get me. And it's because I'm old, weak, and financially distraught. I lost everything during my stroke, and the recovery of it, if you want to call it recovery. But yeah, I guess gonna make it. And it's very scary. But today, what's going on? With We all know what's going on. There's more and more people homeless, and I see around me, and I live in a decent area. Obviously, the WalMarts and all that, people living in their cars my age that are sick, and I have nobody to blame for my situation but myself. Nobody made me do anything financially. There are some people who took advantage of me when I had a stroke, like in recovery phase. And I was a used car dealer. One of the things I did besides being a trainer before I had my stroke. And we'll get into used car dealerships and what people say bad about used car dealers, which is not really all true, because they get screwed by all these auctions. Everything is set up to screw the used car dealer. So obviously, like anything, things roll downhill. So, but anyway, it's another story. We go about our nutrition. Nutrition is everything. When I say extra, because those are all anti-clotting things. Magnesium is like a statin naturally, but you've taken. I take statin, blood pressure medication, and I've weaned my off of Eliquis. I used to take blood thinner because my blood now is adjusted. I see a heart doctor, a cancer doctor, because the cancer doctor is the only one that allegedly could read my blood test, obviously. And that's not a pretty sight in the office when there's young people in there with cancer, and there's a lot of pain and misery out there. If you live to my age, I guess, or our age, whoever's listening to this, you're lucky. I'll never forget the lady at ICU when I woke up after my procedure I had done, and she told me, the ICU nurse, that I was one of the lucky ones that I'm in an ICU bed, because most people, she goes, go from something bad happening to them, traumatic with an accident or an all out, to being evaluated in the ER and taken downstairs, which is obviously where they keep people that are passed. So she as she's described, you made it to here, so you're one of the lucky ones, David. Not that's wow. I said that's pretty whatever on that. And I was when I fell out at home, and I fell out, I thought somebody hit me over the head, because I woke up and I thought I could move, but I had a left brain stroke, which is the right side. I couldn't move. I couldn't get off the floor. And I struggled. I would lay there for 4 hours. I'm going to put up my hospital records here as soon as I learn how to do this. It's kind of different to me because I want to share everything. I have nothing to hide. And I know I can help somebody, and I try to help people here with exercise, with being supportive. Because I found out that, the nurse said that, your kids are out, wait to see. I'm like, you know what? I don't, be honest with you, I didn't give a shit about nothing. I just thought I'm going to die. You hear all these stories about people talking about family will be there. I mean, when you're there at that moment, and whatever you want to call it, death is staring you in the face, you really don't think of anything to do with your kids, your family, your parents, you don't think about anything except, oh, oh crap, shit, whatever you want to call it. It's time, So a lot of these things that you may think right now, if you've never had been in that situation, that like all these things matter. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't matter. When it's time, and in your brain that if you have any awareness of the situation, what's going on, that you're taking this journey by yourself. There's nobody coming with you. Nobody's coming except you. We all take this journey ourselves, our final journey. But, just it taught me real quick. The doctor, I couldn't speak. Obviously, you see I stutter now. But I couldn't speak for like 6 months. I couldn't really walk without a walker. And nobody helped me. The doctor said, try to call your friends and talk on the phone because you need to talk, speak, enhances. I tried to call people I've lived here for 45 years I did business with, and just friends, like everybody out there listening to this, you have friends. You presume they're your good friends. Yeah, we're all good friends with each other as long as somebody don't ask you for something. Don't get me wrong, I may have been one of those people. I tried to call people just to talk, and people wouldn't return my call. I couldn't get anybody to help me go to the doctor. It's like everybody abandoned me. And all I had was my 3 daughters, and they were young and whatever you call that. I've been a single parent, and that's a whole nother story that, life is full of regret, and it is what it is. Thank God the kid stuff is over, you know what I mean? Because I didn't consider that fun. I know somebody out there probably saying that, I never had fun raising my kids. It was like a job that had to be done. And in Las Vegas, there's so many women out here that, I don't want to say bad things. My only goal of my daughters was they don't turn into what goes on in this town, which is filth and dirt. And that was my only goal. As far as enjoyment, no, there was no enjoyment. No enjoyment. If I had to do it again, no, I wouldn't do it again. No. Anybody says that, God bless you. You must be the type of person that could get punched and kicked and smile. And I know people like that pain is happiness to them. But anyway, I'm going to put up my ER reports on here because I think somebody said that I couldn't be like this. I'm learning this stuff. So I'm going to have somebody help me with this because I want people who ever see this to see what the hospital says of my situation. The ER when I got admitted. Not my word. Because there's nothing to lie about. I'm going to die broke and I already know that. I see people and I'm like, I'm preparing myself. Everything I invested in as far as family, friends, was a bad investment. Bad. But anyway, we'll get back to obviously, when I say extra virgin, yes, it's, I was a bodybuilder and I've competed and I've done well, but all I thought about was protein and carbs, and I never really ate fruits and vegetables. But fruit and vegetables carry all the nutrition, vitamins, minerals, that your body needs. And protein is not exactly life-saving, okay? It's, you need a little bit, but it's overboard. I'm assuming they talk about all this protein because it's good for the economy. Like you walk around and you see everybody 50 pounds overweight and they're eating triple cheeseburgers. But, whatever. And, it's kind of weird because I've been in shape my whole life and I had a health incident, and it kind of makes you think like, life isn't fair. But we know life isn't fair. Nothing's fair. And it's going to happen to all of us eventually. But don't think just because you did anything right, that right will come to you. But anyway, we talk about extra virgin olive oil, magnesium, glycinate, D3, and K2. But I'm going to go slowly over. There's so much in my head to share about, and it's hard to just do it in a thing because my brain doesn't, it is what it is. But my name is David. I guess you can contact me however through this. And I'd like to help other people, so please help me, help other people. And because there's people out there thinking that everybody's going to care for you if something happens. Well, you know, I've met people that are sick living in their cars here. Yeah, in parks. I mean, and you can't tell me all those people plan for that. That all those people don't have family. All those people don't never had friends, family, or anything to help somebody when they get older and sick. But like the dogs, I'm a dog person, okay? I'm an animal person. It breaks my heart just to go to the shelter and see people. And I understand. I used to think that people just were abandoned animals. I understand life here changes in Las Vegas. Half the people in the city live an unstable life, okay? People move to Las Vegas because they think that it's easy to get jobs, and I guess you don't pay state tax. I never could understand why somebody could be living near the water and move to the desert just so they can save a little bit of money. I mean, you know, I'm from Florida, and I've been trying to get back there forever. But I guess everything in the country is kind of whatever it is. But I'm David, and stay strong, and be prepared, and take care of yourself, and don't ever count on anybody helping you, you know, in that situation.